Stand by for an emergency transmission. All about Starship Troopers. Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back. Now, as we know, I've been a great follower of Slitherine games and have played Battlestar Galactica Deadlock to death. And it's no surprise that I've taken quite an interest in what Slitherine games and their developers are doing with Starship Troopers Terran Command. Starship Troopers Terran Command, you've guessed it, is going to follow the Starship Troopers universe and give us a real-time strategy game set in the Starship Troopers movie universe. So with that, I thought I'd take a look through the latest newsletter that's come out from Slitherine, take a look at the videos and the screenshots, and see what it's all about. Well, the Starship Troopers Terran Command bounced into my email inbox, and I was thrilled to say the least. A real-time strategy game set in Starship Troopers movie universe. What can you do? Everyone's going to love it. Those films were iconic. Well, at least the first two were, I think, perhaps. Let's go with the first one. Definitely iconic, but there's definitely a fan base there as well. They say they take command of the Mobile Infantry and do your part in the war against the Arachnid threat. There's no bug like a dead bug. That's what they say. Build, develop and command your armies and exterminate bugs and ensure that the human civilization, not insect, dominates the galaxy now and always. Strong words. Strong words and an awful lot of work to do in following the heritage of the Starship Troopers films. I mean, the campaign's intro will be familiar to all who have seen the 1997 sci-fi film classic, Starship Troopers from TriStar Pictures. Yes, folks, 1997. So, 24 years ago. Don't we all feel old now? Now old Starship Troopers is going to be available on Steam as the platform of choice for Slitherine games. As you can see, there's lots of information there. It says it's going to be out in 2021. Okay. The developer is going to be the Aristocrats. And the publisher being Slitherine Games. And it's strategy, sci-fi, war and resource management. So you basically know what you're going to be getting. Okay, lots of videos and screenshots here, which we're going to have a look in more depth as well. You can see you've got the landing craft hitting the deck, all the bugs there, and the infantry zooming down. You know, it really is going to be very sort of atmospheric. All the recent announcements and the about the game as well. But here's the important thing, I think, down here. The OS, Windows 7, if there are any of you still out there. 8, again. Let's face it, 8.1 was the one to really have. But Windows 10, 64-bit, you need an Intel Core i3 or equivalent, 4 GB of memory, and at least a GTX 550 or an ATI Radeon HD 6 series or higher to run it. Bit of DirectX 9.0 and 10 GB of available storage. Now on Steam there is some promotional videos, and I thought I'd play one of these in this video because it really does set the atmosphere and the theme of what Starship Troopers is all about. Let's take a look.
In every age, there is a cause worth fighting for. But in the future, the greatest threat to our survival will not be men at all. Now the youth of tomorrow must face an enemy more devastating than any ever imagined.
Go, go, go! Move! Troopers, with me!
Slitherine takes you to the front lines of the next frontier. Starship Troopers Terran Command.
And it really is shaping up to look at some really exciting sort of gameplay. So we take command of the Mobile Infantry and you do your part. Yes, folks, you do your part in the war against the bugs. the Arachnid threat. Build, develop and command your armies and exterminate those bugs and ensure that human civilization, not those bugs, dominates the galaxy. 21 mission story campaign. So straight off the bat, without any DLC, 21 missions for a story campaign. The campaign's intro, for any fan of the film, that has been seen in 1997, will set the scene. Okay, we're going to take part in the infamous attack on Klendethu, as in the movie, and the action starts with a gung-ho assault, but it always takes a turn for the worst. So then we'll be deployed to the harsh planet of Kwashala. Its demand for rich mineral deposits has transformed the strategic importance of this once remote outpost, previously a sparsely populated haven for those who felt the Federation had nothing to offer. It now plays a part in humanity's fight for survival. All about those materials, all about those minerals. But, you know, what is known that the loyal men and women of the Mobile Infantry have boots on the ground and they're here to protect the Federation's interests. And if that comes to securing mineral resources away from those bugs, then that's what it's going to do. So they state it's going to be an exciting military campaign, 21 story missions. It's certainly shaping up to look absolutely fantastic. The Starship Troopers mood, however, seems to be set straight off the bat with the impression of the adverts that get put onto the local news broadcasts. If they say it's going to be a genuine Starship Trooper feel, violence and gore. So it'll be interesting to see what the game age setting is set to. Because, you know, hey, I mean, everyone's a bit worried about computer violence these days. But let's face it, it's a strategy game. It's a war game. It's a science fiction game. And we're all here to do our part. So there's going to be dismemberment, splats of bodily fluids and flying fragments, horrifying screams. Failing crawling bodies will be the norm. So it's not going to be your typical Command and Conquer where it's bip, you're dead, thanks very much, and it vanishes. We're expecting to have some really good death animations here as well, especially with the scenes of devastation. Real-time gameplay. So you got to hold the line. While the Arachnids can rely on virtually limitless numbers, the Mobile Infantry must develop effective tactics to overcome this imbalance. We've seen this before in other strategy games. Deploy your units at strategic locations to cover vital choke points and gain superior firepower through tactical use of elevation levels. Moment-to-moment gameplay is geared towards a defensive feel. The Mobile Infantry is going to be on the back foot. The Arachnids, there's going to be hordes of them, hordes upon hordes of them. How do you overcome this? How do you take out that hive? And only through the careful positioning of units to maximise the Mobile Infantry's firepower are you going to be able to succeed. Mid-level gameplay is around about the expansion of the player's force, killing bugs, achieving objectives, and capturing radio outpost locations. Once these are captured, these outposts allow the player to increase their force size and sophistication through the construction of buildings on set points around the base. Higher level discussions will be driven by the campaign narrative. Now, a lot of people have been thinking, what about the old units? There's an expansive range of units. Infantry squads armed with the Morita assault rifles and MX-90 fragmentation grenades form the mainstay of the forces. There are also rocket troopers delivering deadly payloads with pinpoint accuracy, and engineers vitally to shore up defensive positions with machine gun turrets, barricades and minefields. As the campaign progresses, technological breakthroughs will unlock, and your technology tree will unlock as you progress through the game. The Federation's arsenal with E-pulse rifles, TAC fighter airstrikes, all these units that we know and love from the film are going to be beautifully rendered and realised within this strategical game. There's going to be additional skirmish modes, which will extend the replayability of the game and allow players to test their knowledge and skills they've built up through the campaign. So I suppose really, campaign first, then get into the skirmish modes. Personally, I like it the other way around. Bit of skirmish, get in there first, see what's going on, then play the campaign. But this surely is shaping up to be an absolutely fantastic game from the Aristocats and also Slitherine. Can't wait for it to come out. Whenever its release date in 2021 cannot come quick enough. But on the 2nd of February 2021 at 5 PM GMT on Twitch, there is going to be a live showing of this game by the developers. Certainly can't wait for that. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for listening to me go on about Starship Troopers Terran Command. We'll be playing this to absolute death, and we'll be doing our part against the bug onslaught when it gets released as well. Hopefully we might get a beta release to have a go at, and perhaps a press release as well. And I'll be bringing all this footage to you when it comes out. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you're a Starship Trooper fan as well, give a like. That would be great. Happy to talk about this as well. And look out for some more collaborations with me and your other favourite YouTubers on this subject. Stay safe and see you soon.